We're going to talk to him right away. Come on, Blaine.
Oh, we're going to make like a surprise.
Go!
Hello, Facebook. We are here live at day 2 of the Winter Spectacular in Alexandria, Minnesota. We've got 2 guests with us today.
We do. We're going to have Blaine Stephenson join us for the whole session. He's really excited about it. I talked to him. He can't hardly contain his excitement. So Blaine's going to step in and join us. And we also have Joey Fjerstad, but rumor has it when Joey and Blaine are together, you and I can go get some iced coffee.
Yeah.
And they'll just take over.
Yeah.
So Blaine, come on and join us. So we're extremely happy to have Blaine with us today. He's just going to step in and add his expertise to any topic we decide to discuss. Racing, fans, spectator sports, any of that good kind of thing. And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us.
Yeah.
I know you'd love to be on the track, but first of all, tell us how you're feeling.
Yeah, I'd way rather be on that side of the fence, but doctor's orders are doctor's orders, right? So just taking it slow and one day at a time, and gradually easing back into my normal life and stuff like that. So it's been a tough road up to this point, but we're just keep getting better every day, and that's all we can really ask for.
Good. Tell us a little bit about, I know your mom and dad have expressed just how impressed they've been with the support you've gotten from the race community, family, friends, that kind of stuff. From a personal level, how's that feel?
It's pretty, it's really special to me, because just to have a second family like we do with the racetrack is something that not a lot of people get to experience. And you know, the support and just being able to have people reach out and care about what you're doing and how you're doing is special. So we really can't thank the racing community enough for that. And you know, it's something that we don't want to see happen, but it does happen in the sport that we do, and we all kind of recognize how tough it is, and so it's good to have people there for you. It's a great feeling.
I have one more question before I give it to Lindsay. We're going to run the Ironwood final here in about 30 minutes. Staggered start, you know, basically right from when the accident occurred in Ironwood. What's it going to feel like for you to see that? Is there anything, I mean, we're just going to look at it and say, here comes a staggered start to a race, and we're going to watch the finale, we're going to pop the corks in the champagne, but the staggered starts because of an incident you were involved in.
Yeah.
What's it, I mean, is there any emotion connected with this, or?
The only emotion I think I'm going to feel is I'm going to be sitting there looking, thinking I should be sitting 3rd or 4th, really.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be tough to watch, you know, knowing that was the race that it all happened at. And, you know, it's just, it is what it is, though. It's got to be run, and I'd love to be out there racing with them. And I think we had a great shot in Ironwood that day. We were finally finding our step, and our clutches were on, and we were relatively fast, and we're going to battle those guys for a podium spot. So it's tough in that aspect, but you know, I wish all the drivers the best, and I hope everybody stays safe. We don't want any more of that stuff. So
yeah, it's been a tough year for that all the way around. So yeah, you bet.
I mean, and this is one of the safest tracks that we race at. Obviously, every track strives to be as safe as they possibly can, but just with the wide corners here, from a driver standpoint, what can you say about that?
They do a really, really, really good job with the bales here.
Yeah.
If you're in a NASCAR at all, they build the safer barrier along the front stretch wall. It's like a safer barrier like you'd see in NASCAR. They don't, you know, they're not picky on how many bales they use. It's an expense that needs to be spent.
Right.
So in that aspect, I applaud the Winter Spectacular for doing all they have. You know, we've seen some pretty nasty wrecks on the straightaway, which is in front of a concrete wall, and those guys haven't gotten to the wall. It's really great, and you know, the bales are unfrozen, all that kind of stuff. It's good what they did here.
I think Jeff said 3,250 bales on the track here. So
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So Joey Fjerstad's got a race day in front of him, and I know that Joey and Blaine get along pretty well. So we're gonna bring them both in here together, and then Lindsay and I are going for coffee and looking back. So there he is, Joey Fjerstad, driver of the number 16 Polaris. How's race season going for you?
It could be better.
Yeah?
It definitely could be better, but we're just working on trying new things and, you know, testing stuff and trying to work for next year at this point. We need to go faster, that's about all there is to it. So it's kind of been the same theme all year. But
You kind of held your own in the final last night, though. I mean, it seems like you get, you know, the first part of the race, you're kind of in there with everybody, and then it seems like maybe the sled just starts to fade a little.
Yeah, it starts to slow down as the race goes on. And as everybody gets spread out, everybody can use their speed a little bit more, and you know, they hold it in deeper into the corners. I mean, my sled handle's awesome, I can hold it wide open all the way around this track, but it just doesn't have the speed. But we're working on it, and we're gonna see what we can fix.
Now, before we get to more racing discussion, I just need to thank you and your sponsors for helping us with the Military Appreciation Program this year.
Yep.
For those of you that don't know, I sent out an email a while back looking for some help with our military program, so to be sure that we could feed the Wounded Warrior Project veterans and do some things special for them, some clothing, be sure they got hot box seats at venues like this. And it did take a couple hours, and Joey got back to me and said, hey, I made some contacts for you, and your sponsors really stepped up, so thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was really awesome. I was glad to be able to help. Like I said, I've said it in interviews before, and when me and Lindsay have talked, I have a great support system from sponsors to crew to my family, and I mean, that's like what Blaine was saying, racing is a family. And that, I mean, it starts with sponsors and you guys and everything, and I can't thank Airco, Contact, and Aggressive Hydraulics. Wow, but all my sponsors in general. But them guys stepped up right away. It wasn't even a question, and it was pretty painless too. They got a hold of you guys, and it was just done. It was really cool. So I'm glad people got to benefit from that, and it was for a good cause for sure. They're happy to be a part of it. So
That's worked out really well. So what do you expect today on the track?
Hoping to go faster. We got Flaggy back. He just came back from the Sioux. He was out there helping the Polaris race team in Bunkie. So hopefully he can get us dialed in. It's going to be a short day. Everything's going to go pretty quick. But we're going to try to do what we can do. Hopefully get the Polaris up there. Just hoping to finish safe because this is my last one for the year. So hopefully finish decent, strong. Get some info for next year.
Yeah, in the first 2 weeks, you and Blaine were both like ditch banger gurus there. You took the little ride Buffalo River that went viral almost as you're bouncing down the back stretch, and then you popped the shoulder out of joint right on the front stretch, and it's like we should get autographs.
I know myself, but I'm pretty sure Blaine's still on the same boat as me here. We don't want to be famous for that.
Right.
We want to be up on the podium next to each other, not with crashes and injury stuff.
Yeah.
But it's part of it, but yeah, Blaine's definitely looked cooler, I thought. But.
So for people who don't know why this is your last race of the season, give them a little background on that.
In Ironwood, I dislocated my shoulder and wrecked a bunch of stuff, and I popped it back into socket there. Tried to continue to race, it was too loose. I worked with my care team at Trio Orthopedics, and we're going to go ahead with surgery on Thursday and get that all repaired. It's going to be pretty extensive surgery. There shouldn't be any complications. There should be no problems. I just got to have the motivation to get through the physical therapy and stuff like that. But it's going to be a long recovery. But I got my friends, family, and crew and sponsors that are all going to stick with me and help me get through this. Just as long as I can keep my dad's business happy. I work for my dad in the off season, and he's bumming that he's not going to have one of his crew guys.
Well, it all comes at a cost, it seems like, whether it's financial or personal, both you guys have experienced that this year. So even a little bit of both. But I know there's a long race day in front of it. We're going to run the Ironwood final here probably in 20 minutes, so you've got some people to go see and get ready for it. Good luck today.
Yeah,
okay?
Thank you guys.
All right. Hope to see you up front.
Thank you. See you, Blaine. And I just want to thank Tommy Lipper and the whole TLR Cup organization. Everybody here, Todd, everybody that puts it on, and especially Ditch Banger too. That's awesome. I hope you guys got to enjoy it. I know I wasn't really on Ditch Banger much because I was in the back, but hopefully next year we'll fix that and we'll come back healthy and strong. So
that'd be great. Thanks, Joey. Have a great day.
Have
a good one.
All right, we're going to finish up here. We'll talk with Blaine a little bit more. Anything else about this track you want the fans to know, the people to know about coming out today?
It's one of the fastest tracks we see. Between this one, Ironwood, and Beaujeu, they're the ones that we'll see 100, 102 plus. So it's, especially on a day like today, it's pretty chilly. There's a lot of oxygen in the air, so the teams are going to be, jetting up and feeding that thing fuel, and it's just going to make for some faster racing, some better racing. And I know as a driver, I always like to go faster, right?
That's what makes them unique.
Yeah.
They're always looking for more speed on ice.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Should we get into our top 3 picks?
I think so. You ready?
Sure.
Give us 3 people to watch for, and then we're going to add a dark horse today. I'd like to know somebody from the bottom 5 of the standings that you think should perform better today than they performed for most of the season.
Okay. Obviously, Gunnar Stern's on a tear. you can't get past how well that sled handles, and it's got the speed to be up front. So he's going to be in my top 3. I think Colt Alexandria showed strength in the 3rd heat, especially. You know, they worked on it through the day. I was talking with them in the trailer, and they came out and you know, Big Nick's been on a tear too.
Yeah.
Nick Van Stradonk, and he kind of put it to him, and so I look for Colt to get his first podium of the year, and then you're going to see that Polaris of Nick Van Stradonk do very well too. I think he's hungry. I think he's a little disappointed with yesterday, but you know, there's, when you look at the field of the drivers, it's just so deep, and you gotta look at Cardell and Jordan and all those guys. So it's gonna be tough to get on the podium.
How nice would it be to have a Polaris, an Arctic Cat, and a Skidoo on the podium?
It would be
a little bit of color
good
up there.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Be good all the way around. Speaking of Arctic Cat too, we're very hopeful that Matt Gady, who was also in the accident with Blaine up in Ironwood, will be here today. So if you're in the local area and you get a chance to come out, it'd be great to show some support to those guys as well. So,
and we'll try to catch up with him later and chat with him.
You bet. All right, your picks. Oh, I didn't get your dark horse.
You know, Joey's not a bad one to put a dark horse on, just because, you know, if Rich is back in the trailer, you know, Rich is a really smart guy, especially when it comes to clutching and tuning. So I'd look for Joey to do better today than he has all year.
All right, your picks.
Like Blaine said, Gunnar is just on fire. I think it's interesting at this point in the season. He's on. You know, obviously, I'm sure he doesn't appreciate being compared to Malcolm Chartier, but at the same time, it's a compliment. You know, he's got Mike Cool in the trailer. He's got one of Chartier's old sleds. He's starting to just dominate the podium, which is exactly what Chartier did.
Right.
I think we're gonna see Gunnar up there. He's definitely not done. Who else? I think Cardell might come out with something more today, because I feel like his trend is, if he doesn't perform so well, you know, the first day of racing, he comes back even so strong the next day. And I think he was 5th last night, 6th. And that's very unusual for Cardell and his team. So I think he'll be up on the podium today, especially with it being TLR points. I hear they're going to head out after the final this morning. So, you know, I look for Cardell. And I think we'll also see, I've been sticking with Colt all season, and I told him that last night, and I said, no pressure, but you've been in my top 3.
Yeah, the Eminem kiss of death.
So I hope that he makes it. I mean, Nick was undefeated in qualifying rounds yesterday until the last round when Colt came out and got around him. So, and same thing with that team. I'm sure they were in the trailer late last night figuring stuff out. My dark horse would be Bo, and I don't know if you can really even call Bo a dark horse, because he's been running up there. You know, he finished 4th in the WC. I think he's just been getting faster and faster all season, and I think him and Nick are tight. Their mentality is kind of the same. They are out here to win, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Bo take a podium this week.
Okay, I want to put Gunnar up there as well. The only way I don't think Gunnar makes a podium today is if he breaks. It just seems like he's got enough going on to at least be top 3. Maybe he gets a bad hole shot and still, only gets to 2nd or 3rd or somewhere, but I don't see him not making the podium unless he breaks. I think Matt Schultz is probably going to pull another rabbit out of his hat today. He didn't run heats very well yesterday, but when it came to the end, he was right there. I also think Nick has got a shot at another podium finish. I know he's not happy from yesterday. I want my dark horse to be Matt Ritchie. I just think he's been trying all year, change sleds. Maybe they're trying too many things. I don't know, it seems like they're changing 8 things at once instead of just one thing to see if it makes it better or worse. But we'll see what happens. So that's where we're going to go.
And they're on that Hool chassis too.
Right.
And last night, the podium, it was all Hool chassis.
Yep.
So.
Yep. All right, I've got to run. I got some duties to do here for the Ironwood final. Let's catch up quick. Thank you. It is great to see you in more ways than you know. So we're going to go watch some racing. Drive out, join us. We're at the Viking Speedway, Alexandria, Minnesota. $10 to get in. You don't want to miss it. Full day of racing. 53, 55
just
races
over 50
today.
Races today. The champ final is at 3:30.
Right. Autograph session about 2:15. So if you want to come and get some signatures, you be there?
Yep, I'll be there.
Awesome.
Yep. And then before we sign off, just need to thank our sponsors. Woody's, Amsoil, VP Racing Fuels, Brad Malmgren Photography, Eagle River Dock and Lift, Don's Marine, Polaris, Skidoo, Arctic Cat, Midwest Sports Publishing Network, and Motorfist.
That's it. We'll see you at the track. Thanks, everybody.